Hello. Good marriage don't happen by luck. Good marriage happens by intention. Good marriage happens by the efforts of both partner. If you want your marriage to work out, to work well, you must stop hoping. You must stop assuming. You have to start building so that you can both grow and develop together. You need to start suspecting. You need to start assuming on your partner. As much as you believe that the word of God says in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 24, that two will come together as to become one flesh. So if you had agreed to come together as one flesh with your partner, then you need to make it work. You need to stop everything that wouldn't allow your marriage to work well. Many people think that love is just enough to make marriage work. They think that when they give out their love, show love to their partner, and that is just enough in a marriage. But love alone does not keep the marriage strong. There are so many other things, so many other ways you can add to being loving so that your marriage will work. What makes a marriage work? What makes your marriage amorous? How will it work so that there will be no escalated misunderstanding? First, I want to tell you that you have to choose respect. You have to choose respect, daily respect for each other. There has to be daily respect, mutually respect each other, and this is very reciprocal. Respect is the oxygen to that man or the woman. Respect is the oxygen that pour up respect in return for you. You need to respect each other, and when respect deepens, your love will become stronger. But when respect disappears, you find out that love begins to be a struggle. That love becomes a struggle to survive if you remove respect. You need to calm down and remove ego. You need to respect your spouse no matter what. Even you don't need to feel to be a better person than your spouse. Since you had agreed to come together as one, flesh, you have to agree with your spouse. Not respecting your spouse will start quenching that love between the two of you. Suddenly, the love will go down. Speak in kindly, speak in empathy, speak in love. Correct your partner when there are concerns. Correct in love, correct kindly, correct in private. Do not shout out at your partner. Appreciate each other still despite errors. When you point out those errors, appreciate each other's. Then communications too. You need to handle communication properly and positively. Handle communication between you and your partner so well that you don't need to talk harshly or hardly to your partner. No matter what you need to point out to your partner, you need to talk calmly, even if it's very hard. even if the moment or the offense is very hard. You need to speak calmly to your partner, so your partner will in return respond to your concern effectively. When you decide to keep silence, silence does not it does not keep peace. Silence even worsen the situation. You don't need to be silent. Silence is bad. Silence is just another name for malice keeping. Getting low in communication is malice. You don't need to bring this. As soon as you start bringing this communication issue, and that will be a benchmark in the relationship. And if there are any concern, your partner too will throw that silence to you too, feeling that is what you enjoy and know how to do. Silence is bad. Silence creates distance. Silence creates misunderstanding. Silence blow the balloon of misunderstanding until when it bursts. When you decide to keep silence in the marriage, you don't want to talk, that hurt that you are experiencing gets worsened, and you may decide to retaliate, and the response from your partner may not be too good. Healthy communication, healthy couples, healthy talk, healthy couples, healthy discussion, healthy couples. No to keeping silent. Healthy couples, they talk through to each other. They talk and discuss kindly before resentments happens. Resentment builds up when you decide to keep silence. And I tell you, silence is just another name for malice. Do not go for to be silent when there are issues. Point it out to your partner. Protect your emotional connection with your partner. Protect every form of emotional connection, because you are not happy by some about some things with your partner. This does not mean you should disconnect with your partner emotionally. Do not separate rooms. Still sit with your partner. Do things together. Do not keep distance. Even intimacy should not be deprived because you are not happy. That is punishing your partner. This is the main reason why you should quickly talk it out with your partner, so that you don't start bringing on issues that could make things worsen with your partner. When you start to deprive your partner even of meal, of communication, of intimacy, a lot of things happens after this. Do not go into getting low in communication by not protecting your emotional connection with your partner. Keep the fire burning by continuing as you have been doing before with your partner. Never punish your partner by disconnecting. Never wait for your partner to ask for intimacy before you teach him that lesson by saying no, by going to put on maybe 4 trousers so that your partner will not have a way. It's not a good thing. Marriage suffers when both partners disconnect. Marriage suffers when both partners become disconnected with each other. Do not let this stay for too long. Catch it on time. Spend intentional time together. Tell your partner you want to see him or her, you like to discuss with him or her, and this will improve your relationship. It will build your integrity, and things will go on well. Never let things escalate. Also, drop ego. No matter how better you think you are to your partner, drop that ego. Egocentrism affects the relationship a lot. When you prove ego on your partner feel belittled and feel disrespected. Drop that ego and choose growth together. Know that you are one. Even if you are better financially, academically, in whatever way you think you are better, you don't need to prove it with your partner. Drop that ego totally and be strong and face the marriage. Don't ever forget when you decided initially to say I do. When you decided to answer to your partner, yes, I will. Don't forget the day your partner proposed and you say, yes, I will. Know the purpose of your getting into that marriage and never discard it. God bless you and God help you all. I pray you have a blissful marriage and a happy home. If you want your marriage to work out well, to really work out well, subscribe to Emerald Speaks. Subscribe and hit the notification button, because I will always be coming with a topic like this to encourage us. Subscribe and write in the comment box, are you facing any challenge about how making your marriage to work well? Do you face any difficulty? You can write in the comment box, or you can DM me. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. And by God's grace, when we talk, we'll pray about it. And definitely, God will take his place and God will take control in your home. Don't ever forget to pray. That prayer works miracle. Prayer work. That difficulty in your partner that you have been pointing out every time and you are not seeing satisfactory changes, prayer works. Pray. Have prayer time about it. Put it in prayer. Tell it to God, and your partner will definitely change. But do not quarrel with your partner to effect changes. You can't achieve any changes when you quarrel. You need to talk it out. So subscribe to this channel once again, so that we'll be able to come together and discuss once more. God bless you. See you later. Bye-bye. Have a great day. God